Back at the Bus Podcast, coming to you with another comic book review. This time we've got the Avengers #1, written by Jed MacKay. All right. Looking at a new Avengers lineup featuring Black Panther, of course, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Sam Wilson's Captain America, Falcon America, Iron Man, Thor, and the newly minted leader of the Avengers, Miss Carol Danvers. So,
am I wrong if I say I got every last one of these action figures?
The ones we looking at on the cover?
Oh,
you got the version of Thor, the Donny Cates version of Thor too, with the kind of the P configuration on his chest. You got that one too?
Look, Mr. Ray Smith. Look, the action figure community, they serious out here in these streets.
Like all the rest of them, I think Iron Man is pretty standard. Visions, that's the classic suit. Black Panther, Scarlet Witch is pretty standard. I think that's usually how Sam looks. The Thor suit is relatively new. Y'all up on it, man. Y'all don't waste no time.
To me, that's the beautiful thing right there, to be able to actually recreate comic book covers with action figures.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Oh, but yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, sure. So, new leader of the team is going to be Miss Carol Danvers, right? Maybe we're looking at some MCU symmetry here. She is the one who is putting the team together. We're kind of doing a dual storytelling thing in issue 1. We're going to show their first battle in upstate New York versus the Pegasus Project, while we're showing her putting together the team. The title page, we've got the rundown. The star, obviously, Captain Marvel. You've got the icon being Captain America. We're going to pause there for a second. Can we call this man Falcon? Can we give him his name, maybe? Would you be more interested, less or more so interested in Sam Wilson's appearance on this team if he wasn't Captain America?
All I'm going to say is I have the Sam Wilson action figure. I got 3 of them.
Which Sam Wilson?
Okay, I got the one in the red and the white costume, the comic book version, and then I have the Civil War, and then I have the last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That said, in my universe, Earth 421, Sam Wilson is the Falcon.
Good deal. That's the way it should be. Scarlet Witch, right? Got the Witch, the Construct, Vision, the God, Thor, the Engineer, Iron Man, and I'm sorry. Can you read that last one for me?
The Cane. The Cane. Black Panther. The Cane.
I know that must have hurt somebody's feelings over there at Marvel, because we haven't heard him addressed as such in a very long time.
Come on, somebody. Mark is gonna have to let me do this. I don't know what y'all call it. I don't even care what y'all call it. But over here, in the comics, the 616, regardless of what that last dude tried to do on his run, he's still the Cane around Chimp. Right here in these parts, he's still the Cane. I don't care what y'all got going on in the movies. I don't care what that dude got going on. He's still the Cane. He the Cane. He the one and only. That's the Cane.
That's why I'm the king around here.
We're not gonna talk about this no more. It ain't up for discussion. It's not a debate. Just like the GOAT conversation. It's the Cane.
Oh man. All right, so her first stop is to Tony Stark. All right, that is her going to be her cornerstone member, which is smart, right? If you build a recruiting class in college football, you want to have a star to head up the class. You want to have a guy who's going to attract other people to come in. That's a hell of a start. Because if you showed up to me in Wakanda talking about you got Scarlet Witch, Vision, and Sam Wilson, I'd have been like, yeah, maybe I'm going to set this one out.
Yeah, but if you got somebody like Dylan Iota, you know, you kind of, if you got somebody like Dylan Iota on your squad, You let him recruit for you. Dylan, am I saying his last name right?
Raiola. You tried to call him one of these, and I was like, he didn't pledge that. He gonna have to get down if people want to be an iota. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to get him online.
Raiola, that's what I mean. Dylan Raiola.
Yeah. You try to put him on with my boys preemptively. You know what I'm saying?
Right? No, I ain't. No, I would never do that.
I mean, if you want to get on, we could get him on. I'm sure we got a chapter in Georgia. I'm sure.
I mean, listen, if you can get him, but because I don't really, I don't be wanting to upset nobody, so I don't really get caught up in that. But I was trying to say like how she went and got Tony.
For sure. It's just like that. It's like getting the number one quarterback in the class, helping recruit everybody else for sure.
And you can't go wrong with that. And I'm pretty sure you couldn't go wrong if he did pledge. I don't think y'all could go wrong with that one either.
Oh yeah, no. We'll take young Dylan Raiola. That'd be a nice little celebrity member.
Come on, somebody.
We can get like everybody else. Anyways, so her next stop. Again, we're still doing the back and forth between them fighting the Pegasus Project. I'm not really I'm not paying too much attention for it. It's pretty much an inconsequential battle until the very end where something happens to Carol, and we'll talk about it when it does happen there. Her next stop is in Asgard, which it doesn't really seem like it's a hard sell to King Thor there. He basically tell her, hey, look, I've been here. You know what I'm saying? You just let me know when we got to suit back up. And it's interesting to think of Thor and the many Avengers teams that he's been on and how well it fits that character in the idea that, like, he's immortal. So, like, having another Avengers squad is like showing up and you got reassigned to another team at work. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what it is to him. Carol's looking at it like, man, I got to go out and get this legendary dude. This is another Tuesday for him. Who do we got next? Oh, it's your man's. It's your boy. Out here in the South Pacific on a sailboat. I don't know why we got to be on a sailboat. No.
He's spending some time to himself. Can't always be in space. He can't always be in space. That's why.
Like he's rich. He can't like be on a boat, like a boat, like a yacht boat.
Well, he trying to be indiscriminate. What's the word?
Why? I'm not in Wakanda. Y'all should be leaving me alone. You said I couldn't be in Wakanda. You shouldn't care I couldn't set sail.
Well, you know what? If he on the ship, Zawabari gonna bother him, or Shuri gonna bother him. I know, because I have recognition. So this is the only way he can get away, because regardless of what they say, they gonna holler at this dude. Because who overlooking Wakanda right now?
Oh, I have no clue. We're gonna have to find out that next week. I have no clue who's running Wakanda right now. I hope not Falasade. I hope not.
No. Not running it, overlooking it. Nobody.
No.
If you are building in Wakanda,
Olsen?
Man, whatever. Last time I was looking, when I was reading the story, that dude was taking a dirt nap. It was either in Wakanda 4, Wakanda Voices, Marvel Voices, that Wakanda issue. One of them short stories in there where that dude was taking a dirt nap. He better hold Eve Ewing a fan.
He died in one of them?
Listen, his girlfriend saw him get killed. And so it's one of them things where it was like, okay, you could easily be written up out here like that's done.
Yo, that's crazy. I thought they were trying to pump him up. I thought they was trying to replace my man. Or maybe somebody stepped in and said, I see what y'all trying to do.
It wasn't John Ridley, so a mother mind said it was another pilot.
It was not.
They stepped in and like, nah. I'm gonna find the story. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna text it to you tomorrow and everything like that. But yeah, so it's one of them things where like they ain't got nobody watching over Wakanda. Not now. You got somebody running it, but you ain't got nobody watching over it. And all the criminals know that.
Carol does bring up the fact of the, kill switch in the program and all of that stuff. And you put sleeper cell agents on the kill switch and all your friends. Hey, listen, man. We're sticking with it, right? It's canon now. Mm-hmm. Don't you dare let me find out that they've allowed Reed Richards to have some kind of contingency with the mutants. on Krakoa. After he found out that, you know, Xavier meddled with his mind and stopped him from being able to get through the gates after that whole thing with it was like a short mini with Fantastic Four and the X-Men. It was this little saga where Franklin couldn't use the gates and they were trying to figure it out. Come to find out that Reed was meddling with his X gene, and then Eric and Xavier went to his house and took the knowledge of how to do that out of his mind. And then in last year's Hellfire Gala, Reed realized that they did it, and he lets Xavier know that he did it, and something's going on there. Don't you dare write no story telling me how Reed Richards just has to create a way to stop these dastardly mutants. Don't you do it, because what you just told me here is that creating contingency plans to topple powerful governments is evil if you're doing it to your friends.
Well, the thing is, it's selective writing, and I like to call it irresponsible writing. And well, because when you think about the dude that wrote the comic book is not a comic book fan, I get it. Very, very much irresponsible. I own the movie and the comic book in which this story actually played out in DC. It was the Tower of Babel. It's a Batman story. It was a Justice League story. I read the comic book. I own the comic book. I could probably reach down in this box by my left foot and pull out the comic book. Ra's al Ghul was in it. The DVD is in me and my wife's bedroom. Oh, wait, no, it's in our office. So I could probably leave here, give me about 2-3 minutes. I'm not gonna do it, but put my hand on the DVD. That particular DVD, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it might have been called War. It wasn't called Tower of Babel. So this story's already been done, and done rightfully so. They got mad at Batman because it got stolen, not because he had contingency plans in place for them. Hell, Clark is the one who gave Bruce the kryptonite ring. So in this particular comic book, in this particular comic book company, where we've seen the Avengers take on the Squadron Supreme on more than one occasions, and they know what that's like, they wouldn't want somebody, we acted like Tony ain't got
contingencies for everybody. He built a suit specifically to fight the Hulk.
Right.
You ain't see Bruce Banner sit up here and get all bent out of, you created a machine to fight specifically me. Oh my God, I'm your friend.
What
I'm your friend, Tony. We're your friends. How many like overarching world protecting inventions did Tony Stark just shoot up into space before telling anybody, just to protect somebody? He had armor, he had sword, right? Like he had all this stuff.
I'm gonna give the author, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, just like I'm gonna give Eve Ewing. You coming into a house that's on fire, so I don't want to hold you accountable for the house that's on fire. You coming in with water to put the fire out. You got the first thing you got to do is come in and say, damn, the house is on fire. Shit. So to me, that was him saying the house is on fire, because the first thing you did was you pointed out everything that took place before you got involved.
Yeah.
And if you're anything like a guy, we don't want to dwell on F-ups forever. We just want to fix them and move forward. So when I look at what he said here, she says, you know what you did and you know it was wrong. You know what it cost you. If I'm writing a story, I don't want to write those lines, but I understand I probably do have to write them to get where I want. And she says, you're not king anymore, T'Challa. You're not even the Black Panther, not officially. So I'm thinking that's the mindset of, I'm writing this, he's still the Black Panther to me, but officially, we got a comic book coming out. It's called Black Panther. He gonna be there. It was so I could say this, come home and be an Avenger again. That tells me a lot right then and there, because it's like, we still know who you are at the end of the day, regardless of what transpired. You are an Avenger, and you will all, that's what I took from this. You're an Avenger and you will always be an Avenger, and there's nothing that you can say or do for us to stop seeing you as an Avenger.
And you know what else though? When she talks about his crimes or the things that he did, It's only isolated to his interactions with the Avengers. It didn't really delve into the specifics of what happened in Wakanda and why there's conflict there with him getting kicked out. Like, they kept the center on the things that they would need to address moving forward, and all the rest of it can just float in obscurity where it belongs.
Right, and think about what Carol says. You know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, what is the picture worth when you got the words associated with it? She extends the hand out to him, right? This is Captain Marvel, who Marvel is trying to put up there right now. Steve Rogers ain't in this lineup. It's Carol Danvers' team.
Yeah.
The thing where she says, because even after all of that, you never stop being an Avenger. Regardless of what transpired, your heart was always in the right place.
There you go.
So,
next couple of pages is some general ass kicking from T'Challa.
Here's one thing.
Good.
Where they put out the point, and it made its rounds on CBR. His claws have always been made out of Antarctic vibranium. Like, why we acting brand new? Like, maybe the writer read. Maybe the writer knows every character that he's working with. But CBR, for you to, if you didn't know his claws have always been made out of Antarctic vibranium, that's on you. Stop being irresponsible in your journalism, because you're supposed to be an outlet. Stop being responsible and misinforming people when it comes to comic books. You are
CBR too. You would think that they'd be somewhat of an authority on it.
If you're not, remember I told you I had an opportunity to work with them, but I didn't like what they were saying right about. You need to let people write what they write about and stop giving them job assignments when they don't know what the hell they're talking about. You handed this job to somebody that knew little to nothing about the character, but you expected them to complete the mission. They failed.
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
So we're going to get Captain America, but the appropriated one, the hand-me-down one. They have a cute little moment there where she's like, "Hey, Cap," and then Sam responds back, "Oh, hi there, Cap." It's like, y'all stupid. Come on, man. "Oh, hi, Cap. Oh, hey there, Cap. Hey, Cap." It's like a Spider-Man meme. "Hey, Cap. Oh, hey, Cap. Hey, Cap."
Even he know who the Cap is. What did he say? You mean Cap or me?
Like, I understand he is literally Captain America, but dog, he's been Falcon in these same type of situations. Like, canonically, he's been Falcon so much longer. It just doesn't make sense to me that he would completely drop his name. Like, yeah, maybe tactically I'm Captain America, but like Sam or Falcon in their leisure sounds a little bit like it'd be a little bit more accurate, or at least people would have a trouble adjusting between the two.
A grown man who took time to establish his own persona, his own identity. A grown man. We're not talking about no kid.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about no adolescent. We talking about no teenager. We talking about a grown man.
Like if this was, Avengers Assemble, Jeffrey Thorne, you know what I mean? And it was like an 18, 19-year-old Sam Wilson, you kind of understand it because he's idolizing Cap. And so now that he has the title, he wants to be Captain America. But this, like you said, it's a grown-ass Sam Wilson.
Because you have so many people. No, I'm not going to say so many because that's wrong. That's improper English. Because you have too many people that don't understand the mindset. They don't understand it. No self-respecting man of color, African-American male,
black man, let's go ahead and get to it. Is gonna model himself after the great white hope.
We now, when you in the room and you said, "Man, you know what? This would be a great idea." Who did you ask? Who did you ask whether or not this? You know what? Hey, what about Sam Wilson picking up Cap's shield?
Man, I'd have put that. I'd put them stars and stripes on and called myself Black Power.
Watch this. How about Sam pick up a shield? I don't see nothing wrong with Sam picking up a shield. Well, he gonna call himself shield. No, he can't call himself Captain America. No, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. Ain't no brother doing that. Which you think I'm gonna? As much as I like Stan Lee, you think I'm gonna change my last name to Lee?
Yeah, like
Oh, I got you one better. You think I'm gonna change my last name to Bozeman? How about that? Right. There you go. I think that's enough said.
Yeah.
He grown.
Sam and T'Challa share a little bit of exchange about their, their previous runs and kind of connect that. And again, we're not getting into the specifics. There's no mention of Hunter or anything like that and how convoluted all of that got. And it never came to fruition. I thought for sure John really was going to bring us back to a White Wolf with Hunter. I thought for sure when I seen him pop up in Symbol of Truth that we was going to be coming all the way back around to a Hunter arc. Boy, they clipped his wings before we ever got to that point, thank God. But
that is the most irresponsible piece of writing I have ever read when it comes to a comic book, and I've read quite a few.
Are you talking about White Wolf being in Symbol of Truth or John Ridley?
That person whose name you just mentioned.
Okay, got you. So this was honestly probably this was my favorite exchange in terms of the introductions or the recruitments, right? Carol Danvers is on the North Pole talking to Vision. Why Vision is in the North Pole? Who the hell knows? But that's where he's at, right? You know what? I think this is probably why he's there. He's kind of going through a crisis because during Judgment Day, he was one of the individuals that didn't face judgment at all. And so now he's kind of having this identity crisis again about whether or not he is sentient or not, because, well, if a celestial god judged every living thing on the planet and I didn't get no judgment, what does that mean? Go.
First of all, even the android can cry. You've already cried, Vision, so you've already displayed human emotions. But contrary to popular belief, there was a whole nation that didn't get judged either. Wasn't just you? It actually.
Yeah. You would have thought Judgment Day didn't hit Wakanda. You would have thought Judgment Day ain't hit Wakanda.
You actually have another Avenger on this team that didn't get judged either. Wasn't just him.
We was too busy knocking T'Challa's teeth in and swollen his eyes up and stuff to focus on what was happening in Marvel at the time. Why would you do that?
I said, nah, bro, you wasn't the only one that didn't get judged, bro. There was a whole bunch of folks that didn't get judged.
Whole continent of people, huh? Like,
it's some stuff that we can't explain. That dude was so damn atrocious as a writer. It's some stuff we can't. Like, how do you write this in? Like, you can reference the Skrull War with Wakanda, the Secret Invasion. You can reference that. You can reference the King in Black storyline when it comes to Wakanda. You can't reference a damn thing about
Judgment Day at all. It's like they didn't exist. It was like they weren't even there.
That's terrible.
Most powerful nation on the planet. Like, if you're gonna give somebody that designation, damn, they should pop up a lot. Damn, they should pop up a lot if they are the most technologically advanced nation on the planet. They should pop up a lot, and you should rarely see them lose.
Watch this. Now, if you write this in the canon, Marvel, that Wakanda wasn't affected, y'all got to give T'Challa his flowers. Yeah, y'all got to give T'Challa his flowers, because that means while he was going through what he was going through, he made sure that if a celestial ever ran amok, they would not notice Wakanda. You got to give his props. Either give him his props or give Bass her props. One of the two. Because we didn't see her doing the other dude's run either. Not one time.
Now, this is an interesting pickup, especially since we just got Vision. I guess we're just going to remarry these two. Scarlet Witch is her next step, which is honestly isn't a hard sell for her, because what else is she doing? You know?
Nothing.
What else is she doing? Yeah, sure. Let's get down. Now, I haven't read it. I don't know what's going on over there, but she does have a solo book going on right now, Scarlet Witch. Yeah. I don't think it's been canceled as of right now. And she's got an event coming up with Agatha Harkness.
Facts.
Right. So some of that, I believe, will play into what's going on here in her role in the Avengers, and probably add to some arcs as well.
Right. Can we talk about how powerful this lineup is?
I mean, it's OD. They got a lot. They got Scarlet Witch, Vision. So you have a sentient android. You have a king. You have Scarlet Witch, who's reality warping, not really mutant anymore, but whatever, mutant adjacent. Iron Man, one of the 2 or 3 most intelligent men on the planet. You've got a deity. You've got a god in Thor, and then you've got one of the, most ultimate powerhouses in Captain Marvel. And then right there, smack dab in the middle, with no super serum and just a really hard shield, you've got Captain America.
You know what's bad about that? Nobody's gonna call him Captain America. They're gonna keep calling him Sam Wilson. That's just like people.
As they should, because that's that man's name. His mama named him Sam. And then he went out here and tried to start calling himself Cap.
Just they're gonna keep referring to that dude as Miles Morales. You got Miles Morales and Sam Wilson. Ain't nobody gonna do that. So I know what you want done. I do. I get it.
Just give them their own name. It's like it's the unfortunate result of what they intended for this character to be and what they ended up being. See, people who want to see Sam Wilson want to see Sam Wilson, the Falcon, that guy, right? A guy who stood as an equal with Captain America under his own moniker. That's what they wanted to see. They didn't want to see, like you said, a grown-ass man cosplaying as his friend and accepting it as a promotion. That's not what they wanted to see. Same thing for Miles Morales. He has outgrown the parameters that you set for him. Allow him to fly. Let that bird be free. Give that man a name and let him be as big as he possibly can be. He'll never be that big, though, as long as you keep hampering these characters with the mantles that they're tied to.
Here's the sad part. The impression from those that don't know us, don't look like us, don't talk to us, they think we wanted these damn changes. No, we don't want Sam Wilson to be no damn Captain America. That's not
what I meant. When I said I wanted a black lead, I didn't mean, I'll dress up like Steve Rogers. I'm Captain America now. Yee, brother. Oh, man, that's not what we was talking about. If you wanted Falcon to be a titular character, then soup up Falcon. Then make Falcon do something as Falcon and stay Falcon to make us care. But everything that we're supposed to care about in Falcon now is tied to the mantle of Captain America. And we all know who that is. We know when we come to see Captain America who we coming to see. And it's not Sam Wilson, unfortunately.
It's not. Watch this. You could have gave him super strength. He's still been the Falcon. And none of us would have said anything.
None of us would have cared.
We would never have accused you of, you just giving him super strength because Steve Gates got super strength. We wouldn't have said nothing. He could have been the Falcon, could have had him some good old super soldier serum pumping through his body. Nobody would have uttered a word as long as he stayed the Falcon. No. You sat up here and gave this dude a replica of his friend's costume and then named him after his friend. This was what Dwayne McDuffie was talking about when he said you can't call a black man Bucky. And you still ain't learned. And ain't none of us in the room. It's quite a few that it's those of us that might look like us in the room, but we're not in the room.
Here at the towards the end of the book, they find what does Black Panther call it here? It is an artificial black hole reactor. It's something that they've been testing here at the Pegasus project that apparently is about to explode. So Carol picks it up, tries to fly it as high as they can so that Scarlet Witch can control the blast, right? Mm-hmm. She barely gets it up there, but explodes with it. Now, Carol seems to be trapped somewhere when she comes to, not in the reality or the location she was currently in, but she is not alone in this cell of sorts. it seems that she is in there with none other than Kang the Conqueror in his original form. And they are no when, nowhere, no time, and nothingness between moments, the last refuge of Kang the Conqueror. So what I'm thinking happened is the black hole reactor exploded and sent her to wherever black holes lead. And that's where Kang the Conqueror currently resides.
Very Captain Adam-ish. But I like it though. I like the story. I'm interested to see what issue 2 brings to us. I like the introductory. I think that was a good jumping off point right there.
Yeah, well, if Kang the Conqueror is going to be our big bad through at least the first arc, I feel like that gives us something interesting enough to. First of all, it feels like direct MCU symmetry, like down to a T. But also, it gives me a villain that has enough gravitas to make me, stick through the early parts of some of these books. Sometimes these team-up books take a while to get going. You kind of have to survive the first arc or so to get to the good stuff. So if I'm going to do that, it kind of softens the blow to have a villain like Kang the Conqueror, to be honest with you.
Facts. I like it, even though he looked more like Tony Stark than Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom. But
yeah. Well, I mean, hey, they're going. It's really crazy. We're gonna do MCU symmetry. We're gonna write these stories to match up with what's happening on the movie screen. But then when we put it in the comics, we're going right back to the original version of the character that we always had, even though we went in a completely different direction on screen.
And
pick a lane.
And that's the thing.
Lane. Do the thing or don't do the thing. But this back and forth nonsense, man.
It's one of the things, and that's why we need more people that care about the IPs. Period. It's something to be said, but I just care about the IP in a comic book. I just care about the IP in a movie. No, you should care about the IP across the board. And I tell the I don't see that many people that touch these IPs. It don't mean anything about it, but it is what it is. I don't know that many people that touch these IPs in the same fashion that we do. We touch these IPs across all boundaries. So we're not knowing just the comic book. We're not knowing just the movie. We know the merchandise, the action figure. We know everything that's going on. And it's like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
What are y'all doing? Why change the character in the movie just for that change not to be reflected in the comic book?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like if I was looking for a Kang the Conqueror appearance in comic books, and then I was looking at Jonathan the Major, let's say Ant-Man did a complete 180 and a lot better than it actually did theatrically. And now I am interested in comic books and I want to go see some more Kang the Conqueror. The last active run that Kang had was like 2 years ago, I think in 2021. Or it was a short. It was a short series. It was a mini series. It was like 2 years ago, I think. And then now the version of that we'll see most recently in the Avengers run can be a white guy. So if Jonathan Majors pops off and he becomes the star that you guys wanted him to be, you were still going to plan to be a white guy in the comic books. So then what is the point? What's the point? How are you supporting what you're putting on screen with what you're putting on print? How are those two married together if you're not going to recreate them the same way?
I have no idea. Watch this. Iris Allen was a woman of color for 9 seasons on The Flash. 9 seasons. That's damn near a decade, right?
Yeah.
That character is still Caucasian with red hair in the comics. Never changed. So what was the point?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I never asked for Iris West Allen to be a sister.
To be black, yeah.
I didn't ask for that. You did it. What for? To piss some sisters off? No, you could have easily introduced. He could have been married to who he was supposed to be married to, and you still could have introduced XS. She's still a speedster from the future. That was my speedster. You didn't give me enough time with her. You just wanted to explain to me somehow that he married a sister. when he been married to a Caucasian female since the 70s. I don't know what you want me to do with that.
Yeah, well, that is issue number 1. We will be back to issue number 2. Definitely interested. We're going to keep reading as long as Black Panther is appearing. But you give us your thoughts on the book in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back next week for some more comic book reviews. Theo, appreciate you.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much.